Blur it out.
Okay. You will?
I will.
No, don't? Okay, fine. Just show a picture of the kombucha or something.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's me, SonicMeister606, and I've snuck back in just to tell you about some pro strats at the end game of the Sonic. So, it's pretty exciting, and let's get right into it. Hey guys, put the game in. That's really good for now. Sonic's in, and there's a lot of stuff in this game that you don't expect, you don't see coming. And I just thought I'd show you some of it. Now that Freddy's gone, because he's been keeping me out, and we've had some bad blood. Now, first things first. I love the music. Music's my favorite thing. If you look in the back of the opening screen, you can see that in the top of a cliff, there's an eagle, and on the top of that eagle, if you zoom in very closely, you can see Frodo Baggins, Samwise Gamgee, on the back of the eagle. Because no one knew this, but this whole game actually takes place in Middle-earth, in the Third Age, at the end of the Third Age. And the hedgehogs are a race that have not yet been discovered by the rest of the people, or just not even the beings. Anyways, I thought I'd just go to the theater room for Sonic, and I'd look through some of the cutscenes. So I'm going to be going through my favorite and commenting over them. And we'll start at the Soliana Festival. Now, the Soliana Festival is... One second. Hello? Yes, of course I'm still in New Brunswick. Shut up. I'm supposed to be seen like I'm answering the phone. Who's that? I don't know. That was a joke, because I was pretending like I was escaping from my jail cell. But that's a joke, because of course I'm still in New Brunswick. Yes. Anyways, here's the festival. Now the man there, at the bottom, he isn't talked about much, but he's actually the main enemy in Sonic. His name is the Pope, and all of the children in Sonic are running away from him. They're going up to Sonic and asking him to do things. But it's actually a code that's telling Sonic about the horrible things that the priest is doing to the children. Now here, a giant is coming out of the ground, and it's Try to ignore the sound in the background. I'm trying to be contacted by someone who wants my Sonic skills, but do have them. Instead, I will tell you about the Blessed Flame and the backstory about what's happening, because the Colossus has just come out from the ground. Because what people don't know is that Sonic 06 is a bridge between many different games. You've got Shadow of Colossus. You've got Sonic in the Olympic Games. You've got Lord of the Rings. Lego Lord of the Rings. The other Lord of the Rings. There's probably more. Shadow of Mordor. All great games. None of them as good as this one. Now what you're seeing right now are robots. These are the same robots from Sonic Unleashed, except these aren't as evolved. Anyways, that is pretty much all the interesting parts from this, except for the one battle scene with Sonic that is definitely top 10 Sonic battle scenes. Now looking at Eggman, we can see that his character has 4 nipples. And Frederick Smith said this earlier, and he was absolutely right. In fact, I was very impressed by his intuition. Because Eggman has 4 nipples, he was actually breastfed, and he can breastfeed, because he is neither man nor female. He is egg, and egg is genderless, and that's why he has 4 nipples. 2 for female and 2 for male, which equals 4. Now, who's going right now? It's the Blur Blash. It's the Blue Dash. It's the Blue Wind. And that's right, he's got fast feet. And now she has a flashback, which is actually not a flashback, but a flash forward, because she's in the past to the future. Now, what you'll see is definitely top 10 Sonics of all time. Sonic really homing dashing like a true pro. This is a move that can't be done in the game unless you're using optimum button configuration. Now that's everything of interest in this specific cutscene. Now, moving on to the next cutscene. The Egg Servers cutscene is useless. Nothing there. Nothing fun. Nothing good. Nothing good with this one. And now the next good one is running through the plains. Because this is where we start to see an inkling of romantic gesture between them. Now, when speedrunning this game, you'd skip past it. But me, I never skip past it because I'm so fast that I don't need to skip past it. Now that was an expert hairbrush there. You can tell because her hands only use 2 fingers to brush away her hair. As she bends down, she delicately uses her nimble fingers to caress Sonic's hand, which doesn't actually help him. It doesn't help him, but it does bring them closer together so Sonic can take his ginormous hands, super huge hands. In fact, if you were to compare Sonic's hands to anyone, you'd have to compare them to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's or Shaquille O'Neal's. Now, that butterfly is actually very symbolic of the famous philosopher Schrödinger and his cat.
Are you still recording?
No. No.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Are you like playing the other modes?
No. I wasn't doing anything.
We don't have much recording time.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's still at 2, but who knows how long it'll be at 2.
Who
you should
knows?
just stop recording
Yeah.
and turn it off.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna take a shower.
On.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey. Hi, so Sonic, hi mate, so SonicMeister came in, and he told me that you wanted to talk about the romance in Sonic, as opposed to speedrunning Sonic, because he said that although he loved the cutscenes, he didn't feel like he can fully understand and talk about them in the way that I can. Now, I am a Sonic romantic expert, and I've really analysed Sonic romance throughout the ages. Now, it's really evolved since the times of Sonic and Tails when they were really getting close and you really felt that chemistry, because now you've really got multiple routes that could theoretically be delved into. In this one, of course, there are 2 theoretical routes that they plan, of course, with Amy and Elise, but I will walk you through how really there are an infinite amount of romantic options for Sonic. And this is really apparent, or it starts to become apparent, in Saved by Amy. Of course, we've already at this point been introduced to Elise and her romantic intentions with the Sonic whose name is Hedgehog. And here, of course, he has thoroughly beaten Silver the Hedgehog, who is right now after Elise. You know all this. Sonic thrown back in a truly erotic form of art and down to his knees in submission. Elise, the timid type, not going to walk up and help him or pleasure him anyway. And you see that Silver and Eggman are getting in here very symbolically. Oh, that must be SonicMeister seeing if I'm here. I won't answer it because I don't feel like it. I'm not one for phones. I'm an angel. Oh, sorry. So, this super symbolic with these hands without arms. So no one to really reach out for, yet Elise is being taken, showing Sonic's inner passion and more lack of passion for Elise. Now we have Amy truly passionately standing up in between Silver and Sonic, symbolizing Sonic's depreciation for Amy. and how much he takes her for granted. Now Sonic here makes the decision to go after Elise and not for Amy. But later on, you'll have the chance to choose between them. Yet the game automatically spends much more time with Elise, making it seem like they want you to go with Elise. But here you can see that in the design of a third option, Rouge, that their intentions aren't quite clear. Now, here, Tails, Knuckles, and Sonic all end up in the future. Future is a dangerous place. You never know what you're going to get. Because you're not used to the future, you're used to the present, which at this point is the past. And as he looks up, he finds someone who seductively is speaking to him. Now Sonic, hands on waist, which psychologically usually means he is impatient. However, Shadow has his hands on his chin, which shows that he is conscious of his intelligence. I didn't get to really analyze Rouge in this because her appearance is half of her character. Now, I'm just going to be going this. This doesn't really show much into the psychology of the love life of Sonic. However, I will still look into it because I assume Rouge is in this scene, if I remember correctly, which I do. Because, as you can see from the behind, Rouge has zero sexual prowess from the back, but from the front, that is where it all comes out. Because not only do we have hearts over her breasts, but she also has hearts on her shoes, which equals 3 hearts. And 3 hearts, and there's 3 sides to a triangle, and the 3 bells are in a triangle, and you ring bells for marriage. Now, this is very obvious symbolism, and I assume everyone got it, but this is where it gets a little crazy. When we see Rouge, you will notice 2 things. Breasts. Alright, so moving on. Right now we have 3 sexual objects for Sonic. It's Amy, Elise, and of course, the one we just talked about, Rouge. I don't count Blaze because Blaze is a bitch. Now, the death of Elise, question mark, exclamation mark. The exclamation mark means yes, the question mark means maybe not, but we'll see. Elise is the goal of this whole game. Now, Sonic, of course, hands still on hips, incontent with his sexual life. Of course, will that change? We shall see here. Partially. Because nothing is truly 100% said forthright. Now, here is Blaze with redless Shadow, with the eyes of a cat. This is because at this point, red, the color of passion, has now been erased from Shadow, and he is no longer the sexual being that he was. Now, Blaze the cat is pink, but is not at all a sexual object of Sonic. Now, this is very important because she's the only female in the entire series that does not seem to be an object of lust for the blue hedgehog. Now, here we can see Sonic's burning passion. The whole story is actually a misguided crystal ball showing Sonic's burning passion for one of these 3 objects of desire. I don't count Tails because Tails is a piece of shit. Nothing of use is in the rest of this. Now, moving on. In my studies, I have found that none of these have anything of use except for Elise jumps. Now, you might be asking, how does Elise jumping symbolize or protrude any symbols of Sonic's inner eroticism? Well, let me tell you, jumping is an action. Sex is an action. If you were to say they're unrelated, you'd be wrong. If you were to say you're interrelated, unless you're having weird sex, you'd also be wrong. But this shows how their connection has risen. His nipples point to her, made of metal, and she is repulsed but slightly attracted as she, without a hint of betrayal, falls into Sonic's arms, who catches her weightlessly, almost like she's light, or Sonic's strong. But Sonic's arms are very thin. To be honest, I never truly, I'm not a kinesiologist. And my throat is hurting right now because of all the speaking I did at the seminar last night. And truly, I must go to the last one. A nice smile, which I assume everyone's seen at this point. But you haven't seen it with me here to break down all the events. Sonic, of course, carrying on her arms, showing a dominance that Sonic typically enjoys in his relationships. And then she quotes him, showing that she is a submissive woman who listens to him. That was a smile, the first time Sonic ever truly smiles with his teeth. And a teeth smile is always 100% real. You cannot fake a teeth smile with your eyes. And this shows the futility of life and the luck of death. That was not Sonic's time to die, nor was it Elise's. As they fall into the fields of yesteryear, she looks up to the sky without her eyes. Sonic looks down on her, reinforcing the submission that he enjoys so much. And he pulls her up, and they start laughing. With his teeth. This is very important because Sonic until has never laughed with his teeth. And a teeth laugh is different than your everyday laugh. Compliments her for his smile and winks. The wink is impressive. And they look over the blue ocean. Blue, of course, symbolizing peace. And that is because they will be having much peace between them. Now, thank you. That will conclude today's seminar on specifically Elise's relationship with Sonic. Of course, there are many other lenses through which to look at the theater, and I plan on delving into them in the near future. Of course, this was Elise's episode, and I expect papers due next week. Of course, the next course, which I also teach, is the audio of Sonic. Now, we'll start off, of course, with Other. This is the often overlooked sections of the audio from the suite that is Sonic. We'll start off with Invincible. Excuse me. It is a remix of the regular song, done with what sounds to be an electric banjo. Now, whether Kazooie had anything to do with this production, I am unsure. However, it is completely solid all the way through and short. Now, on to the next one, Results. Again, a remix with a smooth acoustic guitar meant to soothe the player as they are relieved that they finished the mission and are one step closer to taking down Eggman and saving Elise. Or, as I talked about in my earlier sessions, saving their objective romantic partner of choice. Moving on. Town mission complete. This one takes on more of an urban vibe as you are completing it in the town. Of course, completing missions in the town is separate than completing them outside of the town, because town missions completed are issued to you by the people. You are the people's hedgehog. Not your own hedgehog, but the people's hedgehog. And this soundtrack, excuse me, really conveys that. Now, mission completed, exclamation mark. That is truly successful in its mission. Your mission was to beat the level, and its mission was to make you feel successful, and your success, that was beating the mission, and it succeeded. Now, moving on to town. There are many song towns, but my personal favorite is my personal favorite instrument, the accordion. Oh, I'm sorry. I lost myself in the accordion play of the illustrious Vendici Aldivenzo, also known in this game as Accordion Player. Now, the town missions are pretty much sound the same, but just for the sake of it, I will go through them all very quickly. A small trap to let you know that, yes, now this was low-key stolen from The Boys Are Back in Town. Out of all the four, this 3 is the rarest to hear. And for a good reason, it is probably the weakest of all 4. Now, the youngins have come up with a term recently, to the tune of something called hype. Now, if I understand correctly, this is what embodies hype. And I enjoy it, and it embodies what I enjoy in a Sonic game, and it makes me feel powerful when I play the Sonic game. Moving on. Solion Forest. This brings me back to my days of the prairies, when I would walk around searching for birds and pheasants with my father, and he would tell me, Danny, shoot the pheasants, take them home. And I did, and I tried, but I could never get a pheasant. But it was still enjoyable nonetheless, because I was with my father. Now, my father was a sickly man, but a deadly shot. He could shoot a pheasant from half a mile away, with his hand behind his back. And this theme, it really brings me back. Now next, the new city. Now if that's not a new beat, I don't know what is. And that's what they were trying to get. Of course, this is the main theme to be in the town. And of course, since that is its mission and its requirement, its goal is to make you feel at ease. Because in the hub world, you are not supposed to be feeling in danger or under some sort of pressure. You are supposed to be feeling at ease because this is your base. This is your heart. And of course you want the heart of your player to be at ease. Now, boss missions, themes are doubly important because this bosses are what you remember. These are the moments that stick with you. And music is as magic. It can make you feel in a way impossible by any other medium. Now let us start with Iblis, the Iblis trigger. The high-pitched violin. Screaming. The pressure is getting to you. The pressure, the stakes. If you fail to defeat the Iblis trigger, what are the repercussions? Death? No. It goes far beyond death. It goes to mortality, its very soul. For if Iblis is awakened, who knows what would happen? Versus character. Who is this character? Who is Versus? Who am I? These are all the things that you are thinking when you hear this particular song. Fast-paced, of course. Sonic is, of course, a fast-paced game, and as such, every theme must embody that. Now, Egg Cerberus and Egg Genesis have the same theme. That's because they are made by the same creator, which shows a consistency in the gameplay. This is a theme that is, I'd hate to say it, but yes, it is standard for the series. Which in itself isn't a bad thing. It requires consistency, but it's nothing new. I think we can safely move on. This is, of course, as you've just watched, the final battle in the game. Now, final battles, although usually not the most memorable, is an apotheosis of everything that you've been doing till this point. If it does not include every single tactic you've employed, then it is a failure. And if the theme does not employ every single tactical musical theme, then it is too a failure. Whether this song is a failure, that is up to the listener. Me, I think it is slightly underwhelming in the category of final boss themes, but passable nonetheless. Now, there are many act themes, and I will very quickly go through them and tell you whether they are successful or not successful in one word, and that word will be tomato or tomato for not successful, and potato for successful. Potato. Potato. Tomato. 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 Potato. Potato. Tomato. Tomato. A very large potato. Tomato. 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 Potato. Tomato. Potato. Potato. Oh no, I must leave. I can hear something happening in the back. Seems like SonicMeister couldn't hold them for long enough. Fine. I'm afraid I cannot make it through the rest. I must go to the main themes. Akon worked on this one. It is a true masterpiece. It is meant to symbolize a dream, but not a whimsical dream. More a sweet dream, as the name would say. Now, it's not every day. I mean, I'll leave you with this great theme.
Still fucking recording? How long are you gonna go for?
What are you talking about?
How long are you gonna go for?
I wasn't doing anything.
Is it still at a... I can see that it's recording.
Yeah,
now,
that wasn't me. I left it
how
on.
How long is this gonna be?
I left it on by accident.
You have to record other stuff. I don't know
I know.
when my mom's getting back.
I know.
How do you like your wings?
My wangs?
Your wings.
I like my wangs big.
Big wings?
I like spicy.
Spicy.
Spicy wangs.
Spicy wings.
But not too spicy. And I like them with some good sauce.
Okay, so I'm saying spicy wings, but not too spicy.
And big wings, but not too big.
No, I'm not saying that. Yay.
Thank you for listening to my seminar, and I hope you all have a beautiful week, wonderful day, 100 million times stars in the sky, and you're better than all of them. Be a star.